Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you totally 13 fights. I have all the details listed down there in the description section. If you don't want to watch all of them, you can just pick the ones that you want to watch. And to avoid confusion, so both of my accounts are in tier 1 alliances. That means all the nodes I'm facing will be the same as stated in alliance tier 1 alliance war map. And today I'm taking path 4 on my both accounts, and at the end of the video there's Manthing main boss fight. Now let's jump into fights. So my first fight is another Nick Fury on path 4. This fight is very easy to me now because I've done this 1,000 times. There's not much to say about this. Only thing I want to mention is that I didn't use a power start 1 or invulnerability boost this time because this war I wanted to save some boosts for harder wars that we'll have later. Okay, now let's just watch this fight. Okay, this fight is over and my next fight is Thing on 20. So this fight I've done this 3 times so far, and today I have just had my best Thing fight in a while. Let's watch this fight. I'm going to finish this fight with 100% health remaining. Alright, great. I have just had my best Thing fight in this season, and now I'm moving into another Havok mini boss. This time this Havok was on aggressive Fury node. This node is definitely dangerous because after Havok builds on couple of stacks of Fury, even taking his block hits is going to take a tons of health away from you. So I just tried to finish the fight as quick as possible. So I used the tech boosts as usual, and at the start of the fight I tried to parry him and 5 hits combo to get some power. And my plan is just to get to my special 2 as quick as possible. And this time I evaded his special 1 and I did counter back because I didn't want him to build up any furies at all. And I'm about to get my first special 2. And because this guy actually plays with willpower mastery, so the armor up is going to trigger regen is going to trigger degeneration on him, and power drain. So I'm just trying to build up another special 2 and fill it. Okay, the fight is down. This fight also went great, so I'm happy about that. And thanks to my alliance mates, I actually had enough energy to finish my section 2 in one go. So I jumped to path 1 in section 2, and the first fight is Mr. Sinister. Warlock is also a perfect matchup for Mr. Sinister on any nodes basically. So this fight is pretty easy. There's not much to say about that. Let's just watch this fight. Okay, so my next fight is Captain Marvel movie on Perfect Note. So for this fight, I was actually debating myself if I should use a Warlock or Omega Red. The problem was our opponent, they chose to use Dodge Global, and the Captain Marvel is actually size small. So if I will use Warlock, I might get evaded a couple of times. So in the end, I decided I'm just gonna use Omega Red without Dexterity Mastery. So I changed my Mastery, and my plan is just to do parry 2 hits, parry 2 hits, and then after I build up a couple of spores on her, I'm just gonna parry and do a heavy. So DJ is going to combine the spores and do tons of damage on her. In this way, I wouldn't need to take too much block damage from her special or just regular hits, and the fight will be over well quick. So let's just watch this fight. It's a perfect fight too. Okay, this fight is over. It wasn't bad at all, even though she still evaded one of my heavies. But anyway, the fight is over. I put my dexterity back, and yeah, let's move to the next fight. So there's Iceman on path 4 for this fight. I was nervous because I wasn't sure if this dude will have suicides on. So rank 5 Iceman and signature 200 can do some serious damage over time. But luckily this dude didn't have a suicide mastery, so Omega Red with regen boost is going to smash this guy. Okay, this fight is actually easier than I expected, and now I'm moving to Mysterio on node 20. Also, this node has a brute force and unstoppable every 10 seconds or 6 seconds, and our opponent, they choose to use a Bulwark global, and Mysterio is actually metal, so I couldn't use Clover's Glaives to just solo this fight easily. So instead I used a Quake, and my plan is to heavy and parry. In this way, I can always stay close to him and always do a hit to cancel the brute force node to take less damage from the degeneration. And the reason why I didn't want to do heavy on him is because heavy just simply generates too much power on him, and I didn't want him to feel any special. So I got timing very well for this fight, and yeah, the fight I got the solo is not perfect, but yeah, still got the job done. Okay, this fight is over, and I'm happy because I got the solo, and this was actually the first time I saw a Mysterio with Bulwark Global on this node, and a solo. It wasn't pretty, but I was still happy. Anyway, next 3 fights are gonna be Path 3 in Section 2. So the 3 fights are gonna be Annihilus, Medusa, and another Captain Marvel on Buffet node. So those 3 fights are pretty easy and pretty regular, so I'm not gonna talk too much about that. If you have any questions, you can leave me a comment. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Now let us watch those 3 fights. And after these 3 fights, the next fight is gonna be Warlock on debuff immu mini node. And the last fight is actually Omega Red up against the Manthing boss. So those 2 fights are pretty interesting. If you don't want to watch these 3 fights, you can just skip them and jump into the last 2 fights. Okay, now I'm moving into Warlock on debuff immu mini node, and for this fight, I'm gonna use Quake because Warlock is a robot, and robot makes Omega Red is a horrible matchup. And also I pumped up invulnerability boost because the war was pretty close at that time. And this fight is just a regular fight for Quake, and I did get clipped once in the end of the fight. Anyway, it's still a solo. Now let's just watch this fight, and after this fight, the most interesting fight of this video is Omega Red against the Manthing boss. Okay, I have just used my last item in this war. I've took so many fights in this war, and healing up just took tons of items from me. And anyway, my plan for this fight is to build up spores and try to heavy him, but the problem is the timing of having this guy is kind of tricky, and I didn't find any dual targets, and the only thing I could do was the quest, and I didn't really have that much time to do the quest again and over again. So, and this also cost me a loss in this war because I did mess up the timing about countering his heavy once or twice, and then Lee got me killed actually. But anyway, this fight started perfectly. I built up my spores, and I applied Legion on him. Now I threw another special 2. He's halfway down. It's only 45 seconds gone. And yeah, here is the first time I messed up the timing of his heavy. And I thought, yeah, it's okay, let's stay focused, we can still get the solo. But unfortunately, I'm about to make another stupid mistake. Yeah, I miscalculated his time length of his unstoppable, and I got hit a combo. Now, well, I'm in a really bad situation because I'm only at 15% of health, and I threw my special 2, special 3, because the special 3 can actually regen some health for me. And unfortunately, after taking special 2, I made another stupid mistake. I actually failed to evade his special 2. I dashed in too early, and I got hit. Okay, I'm dead. Well, anyway, this is still some experience to learn from. Okay, actually, I got 2 wins from my both alliances, and I'm pretty happy. And that's all for today's video. If you like it, please hit the subscribe button and share this video to your friend. Appreciate it. And wish you have a nice day. I will see you later.